Hey beautiful people, welcome. In today's video we'll be learning how to create this gorgeous soft bridal look. First we need to begin by cleaning the face, which I have done off camera, and now I am going to be using the correct hydrating serum on the skin. I absolutely love what this does to the skin. I personally use it and I love how plump it makes my skin feel. Right after, I am going to be using the Embryolisse moisturizer. This has become a staple on my kits and I am not retiring from it anytime soon. Now I am going to be using my hands to blend this product into the skin. I love using this Pixie Hydrating Milky Spray. It adds extra hydration into the skin. It has glycerin as one of its ingredients, so you know that it's going to melt off any form of cakiness. Now we're going to let this skin prep that I have just done to sit for a few seconds, and then I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty primer before I apply the foundation. Always remember to warm up your primer on your hands before you apply it onto your client's skin, and you thank me for that. Now I'm using the Huda Beauty foundation and also using the My Kit Cool brush to apply the foundation. As you can see, I am applying this foundation step by step. You don't just want to apply your products randomly. You apply on one part of the face, you build, you layer on, and then move on to the next part of the face. If you also look closely, you realize that I stopped halfway on the forehead because I don't want this foundation laying on the lace of the hair. This is just to protect the hairstylist's work and just so everything just comes out really seamless. I'm going to be using a darker shade of the Huda Beauty foundation as my contour, and as you can see, I'm using my powder puff to blend. You can use your beauty blender, you can use your brush, but I love using a powder puff. What I'm doing right now is creating shadow on her face. I personally don't like really strong, harsh contouring. I literally prefer to use bronzer as opposed to contour. So I'm just really applying this product lightly, not too much. And you really want to take your time when you're blending contouring, because once you don't blend really well, it can just look messy because of lack of placement, or you're just blending without intention. After blending, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Peach Concealer and Tarte Shape Tape Concealer under the eyes. I always love to mix my concealers also, depending on the outcome of finishing I'm going for. I'm going to be blending again with my powder puff. I love to use my powder puff especially for blending concealer because it gives a full coverage effect. But when I don't want full coverage effect, I prefer to use a brush. If you look closely, you see that as I'm blending, I'm also trying to blend in an upward motion, thereby giving it a much more filling kind of effect. So placement in makeup matters a lot. Now that our concealer is well blended, I'll go in with the Huda Beauty blush. I'm going to be using these two shades of blush to get a customized shade. Again, placement is everything. Your placement of your blush is very important as well. I'm also going to be extending the blush application slightly underneath the eyes with the excess on the powder puff. I'm going to be using the new Easy Bake Press powder underneath the eyes. If you not already know, before applying any powder on your face, make sure all creams and liquids are well blended without creases. This is how your makeup will last longer. I'm going to be using the My Kit Cool brush to apply this powder by pressing it into the skin and around the areas I want it to be placed. After using the pressed powder, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty loose powder as well. I don't bake. Matter of fact, I don't like baking, so I set and lock in with a loose powder. Now I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty loose powder with the powder puff and dust off the excess before applying it into the face. I'm going to be setting all areas as likely to get oily. You can even use the loose powder all over the face, especially if you're going for a skin-like finish. Now I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Powder all over the face, and then go in with the Juvia's Place Press Powder as a bronzer just to warm up the face. I'm going to be applying this powder around the perimeters of the face just to create more warmth and as well as shadow. This is acting as my contour as well. I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty blush. This is literally one of my best parts of applying makeup. I love blush a lot. But yeah, we're going to keep it really minimal, not too much. Because I mean, the whole idea of this look is soft. So we're just going to keep it really subtle. Anyway, I did my eyes off camera and I used the Huda Beauty blush palette on the eyeshadow. We're going to be choosing or using one of these Flare by Winnie Beauty lashes for today's look. So we chose the style Fluffy for this particular look. This lash style is from our soon to be released collection, which is called the Share Wispy collection, that's going to be released in February of 2026. I'm using the Lancome black waterproof liner. I absolutely love this liner, guys. It's just the best and I use it for my bridals. Come rain, sunshine, tears, it does not move. It's so good. We're on to lips and I'm using the MAC lip liner. I think this is in the shade Cock to line her lips. And I'm going to be using the Revolution lipstick and I'm going to be finishing it up with the Fenty Beauty lip gloss. Guys, this is the point where I'm going to layer on my base product, try to fix and perfect any mistakes. This is called the finishing stage and I bet you it's one of the most important parts of the entire makeup process. I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty highlighter on the nose and then using the Evian hydrating spray, and to lock this makeup I'm going to be using the Revolution spray as well. I absolutely love all of these sprays that I'm using. Now that our face is dried, I'm going to be using the YSL blush just to layer on again, guys. This part is so important. I cannot even overemphasize how important this part is for me personally. I don't know if you can see the difference that it's just putting onto the face. It's just really brightening up the face and I absolutely love that. I'm also using the Kosas powder to do this step as well. This is so important, guys. I do not skip this step no matter what. You can also tell that we're finishing up because the hairstylist is about to like finish up this entire look and we're locking in everything with the Cryolite spray, guys. I absolutely love this job and the work that we've created. If you learned something and you want to see more of this video, please like, subscribe, guys, share, comment on this video. And finally, we're going to be using the Lancome and Sephora mascara, and this is the finished look, guys. Thank you.